We have healthy foods and we also have unhealthy foods. All the healthy foods are given to us by God. I call this God's original diet. These are the foods that God intended for His children to eat. First of all, I would like to thank Pastor Chris and Living Faith Tabernacle Church for giving me this opportunity to minister the message of health to you tonight. As usual, when I minister to you, the words you're about to hear are the opinions of me. When seeking health advice, I always consult with a local health care practitioner. Before we get deep into my message, there are about 5 scriptures that we want to find first. If you could look up 2 Kings chapter 9, we're going to read verse 22. Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 9 through 14. Acts chapter 13, we're going to read from verse 6 through 12. 1 Samuel chapter 28, we're going to read verse 6 and 7. And Ezekiel chapter 47, we're going to read verse 12. So if you can look up those scriptures. Now the ushers are passing you out a handout, and we're going to briefly go over the first page there, or the cover page. For those of you who this is the first time being under my teaching or ministry, I'm going to briefly go over this to just give you a brief overview of what my ministry is about. You can see it reads the foundation for Dr. Hill's teachings. We have healthy foods and we also have unhealthy foods. We find that all the healthy foods are given to us by God. I call this God's original diet. All the unhealthy foods are given to us by man. Now, all healthy foods consist of fruits, vegetables, raw nuts and seeds, whole grains, legumes, and water. Now, you'll notice that all these are earth-grown living foods, and they are provided by God. These are the foods that God intended for His children to eat. You know, in the beginning of time, God put Adam and Eve in a garden, and if you'll notice, all the healthy foods grow in a garden. Unhealthy foods consist of fast foods, refined processed foods. You see I have some examples there. Salt, sugar, dairy products, excessive amounts of meats, alcohol and tobacco, coffee, sodas, tea, and Kool-Aid. Now, you'll notice that these are all dead foods. They give the body no life, and they are provided by man. So if a majority of your diet consists of healthy foods, then you'll be blessed with health. But if a majority of your diet consists of unhealthy foods, then you may be cursed with sickness and diseases and die before your time. So you've learned more in 3 minutes there than you've probably ever learned at any doctor that you visited. So if you seek God for your health, this is what He will teach you: to eat from the garden. But if you seek after man for your health, you will be given drugs which can lead to destruction. So tonight, the title of my message is The Biblical History of Drugs. I'm going to show you how today we're doing things as Christians that were done in the biblical times, and God is not pleased with this. Legal drug use is an issue that Christians are going to have to face up to before it destroys us. Pastor Chris, last year when I spoke here on a Sunday evening service, I had a lady to come up to me and tell me that she did not like me because she was a pharmacist, and if people listened to me, then she and her business would not make any money. Well, it's sad but true that drug companies have more interest in your money than in your health. It is a business, and businesses have to make money. The objective of any business is to make money, and so is the legal drug business. So if anyone here tonight is in the legal drug business, you really won't like me after tonight because we're going to expose this business. But before we talk about drugs, let's talk about the business of drugs. Living faith, it is not good business if the business does not make money. Correct? That's with any business. You know, I have a patient who is a mortician, and sometimes he tells me that business is not good because no one has died. You see, morticians are in business with death. If no one died, there is no business, and he would not make any money. You know, sometimes he makes statements like, I wish it would rain so the oil would get slick in the road and we'll have a fatality accident. But that's because morticians are in business with death. You see, I thought that I was the only one who thought this way because as a chiropractor, I am in the business with pain. You see, I like to see someone come into my office that is in pain because if they was not in pain, I would not make any money. Therefore, morticians do not want a cure for death because it would not be a good business decision. Chiropractors and other medical professions do not want a cure for pain because it would not be a good business decision. Does that make sense? So, when you hear the American Cancer Society say that they are working on a cure for cancer, or you hear the American Diabetic Association say that they're looking for a cure to diabetes, or you hear the American Heart Association say that they are close to a cure for heart disease, ask yourself, would that be a good business decision for them? I mean, they are able to collect your money because there is no cure for cancer, so if they cured it, then it would be no reason to collect your money. So in order to continue to collect your money, there cannot be a cure. It would not be a wise business decision for the American Cancer Society to cure cancer. Therefore, the American Cancer Society is in business with cancer. Does that make sense? The same holds true with all diseases and their associations. The Arthritis Foundation is not looking for a cure to arthritis. The Arthritis Foundation would go broke if a cure to arthritis was found. So there would never be a cure to any disease if you let the medical world tell you, because your doctor is going to have to find a cure, and that is not going to be a money profit for them. Now, saying the word cure to the medical profession is like cursing. You would never hear them say the word. But they can always tell you that we can treat your disease. You know, they may say, well, Miss Cornbread, there is no cure for your high blood cholesterol, but you can take this pill for the rest of your life. And telling a patient that you have to take a pill for the rest of your life is a good business decision. So there is no money in curing diseases for the pharmaceutical companies, but there are billions of dollars for them in treating diseases and telling you a cure is on the way when there never will be a cure to come. So the next time that you hear the American Cancer Society or any association or any foundation telling you that we're close to finding a cure to any disease, it's all a lie. You can't believe the hype that they're telling you. So, since there is no cure for diseases, we find ourselves being put on legal prescription drugs, which can be a trap set for us by the devil. You see, it is God's will for you to seek him in every area of your life, including your health. But many Christians are seeking after spirit of pharmaceuticals instead of God. And pharmaceuticals is a spirit. You know, it is the pharmaceutical company's goal to have you on drugs for the rest of your life so they can make money off of you for the rest of your life. You know, they have a pill for everything, whether it's for high blood pressure, restless leg syndrome, cholesterol, stress, erectile dysfunction, and even depression. Whatever is wrong with you, they have a drug to try to give you for it. We see evidence of this every day when we're watching commercials, and the commercial tells us to go and ask our doctor if this drug is right for you. You know, in the early 80s, Nancy and President Ronald Reagan started a slogan called, "Say No to Drugs." Today, we no longer hear that slogan. In fact, we are encouraged to ask doctors for drugs. So just because the government calls a drug legal, that does not mean it is good for you. You know, all drugs have side effects, whether they be legal or illegal. All drugs affect both the kidneys and liver, damaging both. You know, it's funny when you watch drug commercials on television, if you would pay attention to some of the side effects, if you had a little common sense, you would not even want to take these pills. You know, some are advertised as having side effects of kidney and liver failure. Some drugs cause upset stomach, blackouts, hallucinations, and the funniest side effect, and you can finish this for me, if you have an erection lasting longer than 4 hours, what to do? Call your doctor. And these symptoms are advertised as if they're no big deal, and we go to our doctors like control robots and ask them if these drugs are okay for us to take. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some